Hello friends, I welcome you all to this online session of Compulsory English. In the last session, we have already started discussing module on making inquiries. We learn that making inquiries is one of the most important language expressions today. It is used in our day-to-day communication. We require it frequently at at post office, at railway station, at hotel receptionist. You can see we require to inquire about something. So in all these situations, we require a kind of language expression that we are studying in the last 2-3 sessions. So in the last session also, last two sessions, I screened a video on WH type of questions, and I hope that you have understood how to form a WH type question. So instead of investing more time on it, because the ample material is available online on WH type of questions, it's up to you that you should browse such a kind of videos and such kind of notes online and try to understand how to make a WH type of questions. Because we are here concerned with how to make an inquiry, how to be a polite, how to form a question, we are supposed to understand. So in the last two sessions, we have screened the videos on how to form a WH type of question. So in this session onward, let us begin with expressions in an inquiry. So let us begin with the formal expression. So you can see, excuse me, sir, would you please guide me where to pay the bill? Or excuse me, ma'am, may I know if a Karnataka Express takes the halt at Bengaluru cantonment? So these are the questions, and at every question you can see, excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma'am. Such kind of polite expressions were used, and that is a very important thing today, to be a polite, because if we show politeness, then only the another end of your communication will respond you well. So when you are making an inquiry, your language must be polite with a gentle tone, especially when that person is a senior citizen, an elderly gentleman or a lady. So this is a very important, that you should be polite in your tone, especially when you are speaking with a senior citizen or a elderly gentleman. You should show the respect of age, and therefore you should use excuse me, sir, or excuse me, ma'am. So this is what we should learn very well, that we should use a polite kind of expressions while making inquiry. We should not be harsh. We should use the tone that should that we were requesting about the information. We are not ordering to person to pursue the information or to give the information, but we are requesting to uh, get the information to, or to give the information. So this is the formal expression in which we have to use excuse me, sir, or excuse me, ma'am. However, in informal expression, when we were speaking with friends, classmates, or a colleague, we must use informal expressions. What are they? See, hello Praful, would you please tell me how to go the Nehru Planetarium? So this is what a person is asking to Praful. Praful is his friend or classmate or a colleague, and he is asking an address of a Planetarium. So, hello Praful, would you please tell me how to go the Planetarium? So you understand that here also, would you please tell me? Here also, a request is a very polite one. It is not very harsh one. Though he is your friend, though he is your colleague, you should follow the polite tone. Then see, hello Pooja, do you have any idea about how to operate this washing machine? See, do you have any idea about how to operate this washing machine? So you can see, this is also a kind request to a Pooja. He is not ordering to Pooja that show me how to start machine. So this is what, while inquiring about something, we should maintain a polite tone. See the third example. Prashant, could you tell me about your investment plans? So this is what you can see in these three examples. You can observe a very polite kind of question he is asked. Then see the third one, sorry, fourth one. Hey, let me ask you how you are going to plan your summer vacation. Would you let me know when the guests are arriving? This is again an informal inquiry to a friend or a colleague or a family member. So in making inquiries at different places, WH questions proves very effective for getting precise answers. Of course, yes, I told you this in the last session. So and as a result of that, we also go through two videos about the WH type of question. I will post one more video about WH type of question. Only thing is that you should be very serious about forming a WH type of questions. So that is a very important thing. And not only forming in a written communication, but uh, you should understand or you should learn how to use it in actual day-to-day communication, in real time, in a real situation. When you are supposed to inquire, you should use WH type of questions to get a very precise kind of answers. So see, the examples are given here about the WH type of question. See, what is the regular price of the refrigerator? What does that gold pin cost? Or what do you call a big grocery store like this? Who is that very handsome man? What's the weather like there in spring? So you can see every question is started with a WH, that is what, is, what, who, what's, which, when. You have learned all these things in the last two videos. So the inquiry above in the form of WH questions. So your daily conversation, you may use WH questions which will help you to develop your communication. So this is what you should think in this term, that WH type of question will certainly develop your communication skills. So now let us have a glance at a few pieces of a conversation. See, we will see the few conversations. So A, where do I get the downtown bus? The downtown bus. Walk straight ahead one block. Thank you very much. So here also, where do I get a downstairs bus? Sorry, downtown bus. This is a question, and in the end he also says thank you to person because he gave him a valuable information. And then B say it's all right. So this is a small conversation in which you can see a person is asking for a bus stop. A B person is giving him information, and as B has given information, A is thanking him for that. So this is what is a small piece of conversation. So we should understand it, we should learn it, and we should try to use it in our day-to-day life. Then inquiry about cashless transactions. See, now let us see how a common man wants to know about a cashless transactions, how he expresses his concern about bank transactions. His curiosity and inquiries will be as follows. See, we will read this and we will try to understand uh, the communication and how a person, a common man, is asking information about the cashless transactions. So let us read this transaction. See, office common man. Excuse me, sir. May I know what cashless transaction is? So this is a question. May I know what cashless transaction is? WH type of question is used. Polite expressions like excuse me, sir is used. And this is may I know. This is again a courtesy. So this is a very polite request by common man to a bank officer. So officer responded to this common man. See, sir, don't worry. Be seated in the chair. I will explain all the details of a cashless transactions. Sir, cashless transaction is the method in which one can do transactions at marketplace, at petrol pump, supermarket, movie theater, and even a hotel without using a cash money. So this is what a response by the officer. You should learn both these things: how to respond to such a kind of a inquiries and how to inquire. Both things are important for us because this role of inquire and the information giver is always shifting. Many times we play the role of person who is inquiring about something, and many times we play a role of a person who is giving the information. So both these things are important, that asking a question, inquiring about something, and at the same time responding to an inquiry. So this is the first. And common man again add, but let me know sir, how is it possible, how can I operate it? So officer is saying, say, have patience sir, it is very easy method and no complications in it. Any common man can do this transaction through net banking, debit card, credit card, e-wallet, by the way of checks, DD. Moreover, different apps are also available by which you can do your transactions in the market. So this is a response by officer. The common man, excuse me sir, could you tell me it, is it possible for me? So because I have never used such things in my life. So this is what again a question asked by a person. So see, in the above conversation, the expressions like excuse me, may I know, express politeness in inquiry. And that is very important for us, that we should maintain a polite tone while speaking with the person. Then if you use such expression in your daily conversation or at the time of inquiries, it creates positive impression on the others. In the inquiries, you also come across expressions such as could you tell me, the next thing I wanted to ask was, or just one last question, I beg your pardon, etc. So these are the expressions that we should use frequently. And these are not, as I am telling you again and again, what we are learning in this textbook, what we are supposed to understand from this syllabus, from this content, is not a rocket science. It is a simple language expression that we require in our day-to-day life. So what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to understand the concept or understand the expression, its proper use we should understand. Then we should memorize them, and then we should use it again and again, reinforce it and internalize it. So could you tell me, the next thing I want to ask you, ask was, or just one last question, I beg your pardon. So these are the very polite kind of requests to the person who is supposed to give us a information. So see, when did Peter return? I beg your pardon, please tell me, what will Peter return? Please tell me, when will Peter return, or I can't tell you. So this is what is again a one small uh, expression, language expression, conversation. So railway reservation. So we require, there are several uh, uh, language situation where we are supposed to use the skills of inquiry. So see, railway reservation, of course, yes, railway reservation we generally require this such a kind of a inquiry. There is again a separate window for inquiry. So today there are several apps are also available online, and internet we can easily track the train. But many times it happens that due to the failure of the app and failure of many other advanced tools, we again return to the very reliable source, that is an inquiry, inquiring to a office clerk. So let us see what is it, railway reservation, how to inquire at the railway reservation counter. See here also, excuse me, could you please tell me if I can get a ticket for Goa from this counter? This is a question. Here also excuse me is used. Could you please, modal auxiliary could is used. Could you please tell me if I can get a ticket for Goa from this counter? This is a very polite question asked by a customer to a window clerk. See, sorry sir, you will have to go to counter number 4. This counter is only for group booking. Then could you please tell me whether a reservation for the 22nd of this month is available? Pardon sir, the enquiry counter will tell you about this. It is the entrance of the building. It is at the entrance of the building. Then thank you. Here is the enquiry counter. Let me find out whether there are any reservations available for the 22nd of this month. So this is what a small conversation between a customer and a booking clerk, and they were speaking with each other. They both these guys were maintaining a very polite tone in their conversation. So we should understand this. We should use it. Could you please? Excuse me. Sorry, sir. Pardon me. Pardon, sir. Or let me find out. Or thank you. Such kind of polite expressions we should use in while we were inquiring about the railway. So after railway reservation, we will see one more language expression or language situation in which we require the skills required for the inquiry. At a post office. Of course, yes, we were using post in our day-to-day life, and we require to go to post office for inquiring about certain things. So let us read this small conversation between a customer or a and a clerk of a post office. Ram and clerk. Let us read it and try to understand the language expressions used in it. Ram, sir, I sent off a registered parcel to Kolkata about a fortnight ago, but I got a letter today from my friend to whom it was addressed, and he says he has not received it. So, this is a query by Ram to a clerk of a post office. Clerk, kindly tell me, sir, have you got the receipt? Yes, sir. Ram, yes, there it is. You can see it was dispatched on March 10th, and it was also insured for RS 2000. So this is what you can see. It should certainly have reached Kolkata some time ago. Sir Ram said, sir, will you please make enquiries? I am very anxious about it, and my friend is annoyed because he has not got it. Yes, sir. I will report the matter to the postmaster at once. So this is a small conversation between Ram and clerk. Ram uh, puts a query in front of a clerk, and this clerk also try to solve it. So this is a small conversation that is used that we came across in a post office. So this is what in both these conversation at the post office and at the railway station, railway reservation, or even before that, you can see a common man and bank transaction or bank clerk. You can see everywhere certain expressions are frequently used. Excuse me, sir. Could you please? Could you manage? Such kind of expression you can see were frequently used, and these expressions we are supposed to use in our day-to-day life when we were inquiring in a real situation. So as I told you, we don't need a different kinds of structures or different kinds of vocabulary items. We require a minimum structures and minimum vocabulary items to communicate in a English language. So these are the very minimum or minimum language expressions that we require while for inquiring very fluently in English. So we will stop here and continue the same in the next session. Next session we will see the real situation that we came across in the last year, that is the inquiry for BA Part 1 admission. So we will stop here and continue the same in the next session. Thank you for listening.